Uya kimo mwanchu muligeralia ase ensemo eyigemenyekete buna Egeikaro litkolia lero lya Jumapili na samu yenda nigotoko nyaraka batokwera bagalia bene kuligeralia lyonsi nyaraka bagakoneki kwa ikingima gochaka litkolia Jumatatu goika litkolia lero lya Jumapili na mange kimagente koneki wa muno siasa ndigochigente kubwata nse chinsemo nabo igo gwetani ya siasa nabo geserikali nero nigendrete goikirania amagendero asinsemo abana baranyaruka amagendero banyaruka nabaranyaruke serikali chonsi ya county, serikali ya Nyamira, serikali ya county ya Kisii, serikali ya nene chonsi nyigenda okarabe ebimo bibiri bitatu igo nabo igo abamereri be serikali na barabu bwata yabo na yanda lyonsi agenda de konekiwa itangirima sam kora kwa muri njoma nona kabire nere
tigankwa ni mwancho muri yo Getembe ndo cia sore karibu sana sensemo ya Egeikaro. I think chiwiki chara itrangi ibere ndaraba sensemo ya Egeikaro. So I want to say hi to you as ndo cia sore semara kwa yabona karibu sana gara tunyara kwa to sangama naye na inde banga bere by the ringo bali yaran bwatire sana iko lero nabali sauti ya netabe ngiye kidogo lakini rende na bagwanchira na toraga
rida kini kigima asa interview akarikanire iki ngibagachakari tukolia Jumatatu gwikari tuko lia rero asibia nzibia nyakabe kokoreka timo tinga ngirikiria stand out ko basole even politically even magendera whatever way oratiga mangana Manchester United nimetenga na vera nya stand out lakini oratiga mangana
honestly na otherwise na kwa turengeria team ya Manchester lakini yesenge njwa kwani tiganda katebanga na bonde very excited usa kondigereria na bonsa asogete likubalio kalia chandre kidogo lakini na bonsa asogete senge nchonga number 1 Shabana yabwa. That is excitement number 1. Number 2 Manchester United yabwa yobona Manu nekiburi geto wacha tuachie hapo. So about the things that happened we have had a very busy week a week ngwaroche muraibense no arenge ga soro ngorwa gusi ko launch mangana nyota charinge county sato Migori Kisii na Nyamira. No, I think that is the one that was that stood out. Singing chonkelinga you know gesa diuru chokose mo rai kuronsa ya gusi Dr. Fred Matiangi I saw kikopori boraibense actually gusi yabere a center of interest which yase mwanasiasa ndebwansi kwa sababu yabere battle ground yabana siasa isingenjukero muntu natakete kurwana numbers ichiga ndakete kwenda maminja nabantu abangi bagatabandake mugusita bwati numbers. Let me tell you something.
We got the numbers.
Karongora graph trend. Kero mwana aso mwana siasa ndobwansi ngo value ware numbers na chiba chin kesenge njonga abana siasa mbaronya rako bwana chikura chinke sana. Look at Nyanzio. Do you remember Nyanzio in by elections? Abantu baba na 73 votes. They want to chikatanga getuo ikebwate chikura 30 want to target 30 icho na chiba ko 900 chire kusiga 900 is a considerable number ndo chikoligere baadaye. But no every politician especially the presidential candidate more specifically umuraibense na esenge nchagwata competition koroiga na begete omokyo mono gwetrase balitokoroka ngachi mouthpiece chia kurwasa sema ya gusi mo chief whip Silvana Sosoro mo jumbe chafet Nyakundi na baigo na bande. So from there it was more interesting that a day after umuraiwe kiama umukonyi umuraiwe kiama ya Jubilee muskeda Dr. Fred Matiangi na ngichinsa mo chiama komba. I think politically he was doing what we call neutralizing. Yani wacha rubbish off whatever that was spoken during the Nyota launch. This is politics. Ototo bono narito ikire siasa abalende teraika lakini bono siasa yakone kia chake kiro monto bono le trichinyanya chia season ine ya usine yechinyanya
ngondi ngoni
yaro yokoni kia koni ngoni yaro toikire a political moment that everyone wanonya kwerwanira. Look at chinkwana chakwa ni twasensemeria Nyota gali bikarabwa ate
ngoigatarabu tochikonyaka otokoligeria na mansama ya siasa igentu kiabirige gukwanira mono aikengima no murobulio yo iga Nyota Nyota aigaba igatia basaya banyo chibesa ikire 22,000 kiro ya month 5 yarenge 5,000 cyagachirwe as serikali tsandameria NSSF muna savings umuntu ayiru 22,000 asogo chake kigima kiro muntu nabote birengera bya igure chibesa chiga umuntu ndebwansi umuntu koni chinyanya omwachiri bubere nabachiko mukonya umuntu koni eduka nabo chiri bubere tamakonye umuntu koni chigari na beli 100 tamakonye umuntu koni ngakalkoni jindege million na beta makonye kwa kiro umuntu generally ikanje kega kyanyota generally muna kyanyata kwa gekurwego of course nabage ko balingire to politics ke karan siasa nabana siasa bagetemete ko ruwa murayibu yanse ko ikago chance
you cannot unlink it
politically link na siasa ngenya ko bage to impact from where you sit.
You know, let me tell you, number one, I want to think like a youth. Before ntaraira na say kibirengere bya qualified ko kole kwere. So what I'm trying to say getting a key, number one, it's okay na bakira let impact because
ndakuna jake iko muligera linara gotolikira ko tabanga nga on screen ni ko 2025 as normally ni ko 2026 kineka ngole gire ngane na bembo kiro mudare te ngaki era taras kata mara menga to ko mutinyo mutanga ni 2026 iyo maiki iyo minute muligera lito complaint ngaki kwa mwirire jidari kijia kwa mwirire ndio mwaka mama
kwanza tuotaka kumanya ko sembara active ada tubarwa ko ligera libasaya. Anyway, what I'm trying to say in Keringa Kyoto, you remember the Gen Z, Bawate Mochanda, no more Muske William Ruto. So I think Nyota is targeting the Gen Z. You got the correct tabasa on board, whatever actually Navarengereti. For me, politically, when I try to interpret what is Nyota, you got the correct tabasa on what we call on board. Navarete abono, Navate Birengeri Biabo, Navatu Yobo. Wetrasa Nyota buna gwateba mbia chibase china bachiko konya abantu nchirinke you cannot saying a chibase chine chinke nababa saya bange ba konyeka but for me it is the accountability ya chibase chiga mbia muno kwana ndi chibase chiko watu ngetika ba 22,000 chinde chiabere saved. What are the parameters you want to know that in ebese ya maana ya koreta ya chiteka koremeni, you know. Muchando kwana na is not a problem. You can give out money, but what does it bring? What impact ekoreta kuchia somo sayo kwachi pesa na ende target abasaya ba konyeke tembarenga wano gwachiro soro ngorwa gusimi gore na Nyamira abantu ba konyeke tembarenga the families benefit from this business maite no gochako sina magana yaje trolley won't take much eba se ine nyinge sana asomo sayo bangete na ndo isa kolengere aye bange igendo no kwe organize na ko make the value of this money na beko ba helpful lakini baono nchemo chando mbwate kidogo kolinga ki kwa ewa no kwena ndichibesa what from there what goes on this business you want to bring about na arenda basaya bakore mbiya mono kwena ndichibesa but nchiaba accountable for whatever that you intended to do it naro chomo governor Nyamira kwa tabanga maybe na chikwena na utoko ke relief ya tax for 5 years abasaya were they captured so and so was given, you know. If the government has the data abantu bali ya etchibesa then they are equal they are mbabwenete to find out kumanyanga ki ebese enki yakora that's when turatebenga ya retre value
of course ya rese kolengana na obumanyi bwa serikali ko kolengana na serikali ni bwa recording abantu kibati because again chibese chebe transfer digitally the only worry maybe ne ringa ki chibese jo monto iru 22,000
chikore mirimo
monto nigo ko ego mo chikorengera ringa nki chikorera wose nigo already ubwate in mind ngaki chibase ja 22,000 nigo ngo chibeka asegete go sine tire yamagena ngo gora go sine chimboli ngo gora go sine chingwani ngo gora wose go changa as an afterthought omase go panga chibase chigo so sam karuja so 22,000 moja go planning ngi okorera litanga ndabora endo go chingo ko ibere digwa go chingo ke chibota ke to komenda chingo ko chibe 10 anangaki akanga ne mboli nagora or next moment mboli go gore mboli nagete nangana ngondi yago by the time go chigo decide ngi uchikorera aibwe ko munyene obongo bwabo bere diversified in a way that tolishwanga chibase chingo watatu aigabona dibodi nale nkolenge andanga bantu ko bolinde abasaba ya tuchibase ichi bakaranze tigo bakayara rubuya kigimanga ki chibase ichi muna chi achirega mwachinyore bali mwachinyorire emubwando chitemeka igana gose e follow up nero raba nanji bara bata kubwati ngaki chibesa chiri mwaruete mwatoyete gosibesa mwatu ndwaro cyo mu PS saboke gagotarira one of the beneficiaries kako takorang kichiga tukumutuma. That's I think ekere kama serikali bonto kutumaka ngaki abaye tuchibesa wekira boma iga mbabu gatase getekanga bako sai nininga chibesa jina atumire mi ase 2000 atumire mi chiadige 1900
the same thing the same thing
agara accountability because chibesa ni chiaba Kenya
again to na accountability ebese manyanga at some point in tax ya Kenya no changie tabasaba kwa kuchibesa icho. That is why I'm trying to find out the government might have done what we call a training on chibesa chinga chibenta kutumeka lakini rende inche according to me I have a very different thinking. Why couldn't the government maybe come and interrogate abasa because the onyama ene barenga ebese bategete konyumwa abasa ngikiro monta tare ochare ne plan ne project ya ta koranga that eto kwa chibesa chisunge nchuba tumurobere bina kwa kwanira by the bono my date was just a random muntu tabwa is not business oriented onyo rebesi muntu tariko anda onyo renga uchakire kutumana chife no muraibu nsat onyora atumana fe
na umanju muligira
no yo ndanda chiko gotengera
manju muligira ria kero gento gutubwa tigo kerengeri kya mona ndimo igoro ya ebasa yiga ya nyota gusomura buli onyota ase abasa banya kwa bakonyora chibesa ebirengo bicishiringi chiribu 22 kero musaye umujego nyako bakurawa amo nomo raibu nsamuske William Ruto litkolia ramisi ase omochie obosunge getiga guse stadium ndachinaje kubata karangara kendi kyansi igoro yomurobuli yomugima enamba yesimine yurese screen yawo 0726447367 0726447367 dika karangara kyawo gabugoro ya nyota chibata chiga aye no maitonzo wetu
very good
elia kabere ondinare kwa rusio mutaro imako baye chibata chianyota maite barabara mutaro elia gatatu na ari kwa radi ngaki kana chibata chianyota chia musirira nsamugete igane gete igiakane na ina bogo gikerenge ngwata gete chibata ngwa chinyora osno joji take next
aba nje na apply
onegero apply ayengi bata to chikora kwa traja gira
njina tete ne manyanga ki is it true lakini ndio mnakwata be for me I could have loved tranyora actually I could have wished tonyoro musa kurugusi onyora tebeseri because na arona andi bago circulate ga in social media that those people got the money usakuliringa M-Pesa balance ya actually ya bwa tekende ebese buna ya tetenero ya rengo
so banya frisa ya rengo aisuru patrende gente katanga ngiri ki omuntu kwairu tumato thine nsukwa ego se kwa runga kyo koruba lakini kwa ego nsukwa ego nakeliyo korupera bana kwa rugwe so kuruba ge kwa tumaito ko somo naru abenjara ka bachiri bujiri 20 muguko kolende kwa sababu wetu ngolinga ebase ne nyinge nabo mu Kenya ka widora nyaka baga ko tumeka
oyo nyorere
asenjira eyemo gose eyende totigarete somoro bure nyota siasa igakwa ase ayusana na gweta ni siasa gwakwa tuchakiriri tukole Jumapili ODM jarenge county ya Kisii chinzamo cha Sameta amo robali korunga Linda Ground statement geche chikabe kuberi sato iga chia siasa ase umorobali nyota statement njenya kwa chikobeko ge siasa na boto koligerali tonyorenga kire bibere na batatu bibere bitatu gamya kwa biko kolekana chira cyo muraibu ntanya tukaba kurwase umurobole nyota na cyo bado nchibata ndiri ase mangana siasa anya tukaba taba edara ya na chiro ya daraja mbili na tukaba gutwara ga kwa na igorege tikiagu si stadium na yanda mange nsema ya magendero karaki kwanya tukaba goko Google pick kurese etaro muraibenza
tuenda comment kora ya ODM Linda Ground actually ODM karaba tanga Linda Ground ye meeting ground na boge sare te they are trying to lend ground every county which is a good idea because politically na bo went to lend ground especially asoro kongorwa gusi because bono iga gusi you can tell that ODM nere shaken that is a fact igine ndo went ko manyanga ODM nere ne bwata kidogo chinga kichingo ngwa asoro kongorwa gusi esengincho yumo merobali ya siasa ero so enchire yo gatabanga Linda Ground ngaraba jumbe kurwa all the divides somos kejanda no arenga ali gatabanga mbari ko feel candidate they will support of governor Simbarati of which then that is one way of showing that there's some political formations chira chikonya nakuba chigotoka because nchiranere bona iga maybe the UD and ODM pact again that konya kubekuga amanyanga what do they mean in the assembly na deviants na barabombaro. So I'll not be surprised that Muske William Ruto Najita, and as usual he is a man of promises and the promises whatever is Egeikaro karogiech promise ya watane Kenya. Nje Ototo I could have loved to see one day mora ibense aiche gusi kuigora cancer center yani ya chakire gukora not that tuabekere chibesa
lakini Egeikaro gwetari nuroche
na igendrete I could have loved yani even the ria chitega iga aka make the promises the other time yani ebe ngogo chakwa it's not more
wana acha koronji
yani acha koronji ngaki e para na tebe to kurusa mu ya be commissioned ya be taringa commissioned na igorete chiro gari how long will it take e chiro ria Nyamira ko what I'm trying to say ngaki he has been over 3 years by the in office my point in hearing ngaki this is not the first time umura iwenza achire gusiga ochire gusiga iga severally ochiro tare the cancer center yani nchike ntokeringo tabanga ki I could have loved nchibno mo gusi
a final product
I check launch into kia in place not that on top of the promises that we have already echinde chimanya ko chigendere gocha but you cannot again tota separate buna bono maite to separate tota even the brota separate so ko kama vera machimi. Actually, you cannot separate. To separate unlike mafuta na match you can be able to separate into asomete school chemistry. But the promises no more I will say there are two things you cannot separate. Whatever he is, whether he can but he continue promising. But my wish is he promises no more I will say he has an opportunity as a president of our republic. Tigai ndagete yani ngakienda gocha gusigo sine campaign. Aiche there is something tangible launching about ngechake ko kora service not a promise that to a commission to abekire tumetenga tumeka yani kebenga nigendo in place so amagandraga kwani na siasa ya kawaida ka kwani rende timaite go sengo na there is individual talk about
as siasa to gocha kurugor to dire magago chance
okay bono murai westu akora
tege siasa bano tege siasa taragereria mangana ya mangana ngo ligeto siasa sobo gale na monense county ya Kisii na boyo na county ya Nyamira lakini se siasa karto gochaga kuru rogoro tuagere ko to kuligereria ko ya mangana pro debate na mangana ya united opposition na ali ganta ko na kiwa litukulia lero mo konyi mo raigwe kiama gya Jupiter Maske Fredo King Matiangi alingichiza machi ya Kiambu ata banga serikali bwa 3 chiko wose onyeteri kubwa 3 chiko nyeteri kubwa 3 chiko na baru na bakoligia abarorenga kinjira ke bakwerenda akara baranya ka bangambali ko nyara ka bakurendo ine statement ya inkolengi kubwa tukanamo no gosaganwa ko mo konyi bo muraibwe nsomo koro musikiriga tigashagwe ikiyaita chinsemo chia Nyeri bado no balengenyeri litukulia lero siasa national ngira nyako kwanera siasa national ingi kigendete kwaneke kwa babu atania baga bukomera sigambaro chikane bakagenda bakarura gosengarura hone cha DCI koliboti ngao serikali kolekendeka serikali yakotaba gochia emito blame
so tiganda tabi mo rire no motegere otegere because turase Getembe family in politics kero monto ngutumekari chimbino chonspi ko takakoliya chikura again tongo tabere kelinga there's a fact yakurunga sympathy igochia toka siasa umura mukwanyi umura iwense umukoro doctor Geoffrey Gashagwa na chita sensemelia akabaga kuvamiwa sensemelia Mount Kenya okay as much as rende we have no evidence and uchunguzi tera ko rutomanyanga what was the cause but nelinga ngia korekanite and emosi once pi na serikali yetumbire we don't know what really happened on that but siasa so as much as totara manyanga what happened lakini siasa every politician I don't want to say that umukonjo muraiben somokoro sympathize arekolige lakini it is part siasa so we don't really know as long as toganyete uchunguzi yako na ndo kwa machibu siasa so maybe it was an agenda set that ntobwene tokolendu and everything. Politics, politically, Ototo, you are a political commentator apart from being a political journalist, and you know all this. So umategere nero ratware issues yoko interpret politics, but in siasa mtu bwate ntokurunga sympathies that kromo na siasa go takoria egera abantu bamo favor in one way. Alafu insi yetu ya Kenya mwiso kuligeri siasa ero actually it's all about propaganda. Yani teri siasa iliyo bakene. Siasa ya Kenya actually utabetio mokora. Sometimes you cannot even survive. Yani everything bona yanga from the opposition side that if anything happens netabanga serikali ya usekana musigo ibonzi pia kwa enda serikali. And then when you talk about the united opposition bona yando che mbale ngesemeli ya Nyeri and they are coming up. And I normally look at the comments chumuraiwense agotabanga wala wa jamaa actually isakoliro muraiwense the target mostly akaba bantu babiri muntu mutanga nino muntu uri bagataba kwa shares yori wa mnyoro oyoko maybe obokabire kada kwa no bokabire ga minute
kasha wa mnyoro
ando muntu uri 40 years ikukwa manyanga Kalonzo tarigwa sio kama ono kwa na Matiang'i na nyaku na ngobwatinde sana he has never spoken by the way much about Matiang'i, but normally gakoruta umukonyi bomuraibenso mukuru na Kalonzo Musyoka. I don't know whether he's identifying the competitors or whatever. Anyway, be it as it may. So siasa bona yikire and every politician mate kartu atwarite narrative ya 2 term 1 term no term umuraibense did not adopt it. Lakini you can now tell that it is now crystal clear that nero soira se assembly ya asokorandie njiria 2 term sababu lero kara chira somo kutano at the end of the day ngo tenena te barambe 2 term bono meaning that now the bar of politics ya chakire.
There's a discussion to atwara somewhere ngoti ya pake ko tuaga ko bera somewhere as where I happened to hear a drop esgege songe ge tenga ko tegera rege tegege ko statement iga chitana kama ki serikali ekoroku united opposition kose abantu bakomerese bakora united opposition go already tachinde banjira nenga barabwe bari united opposition tete association go already mwanje ndenga inuna ba mirili ba serikali what mwisi ko ira serikali mambi ego nga serikali ya united opposition osinga kigo chikorogo so today something kya communicated na wenga opposition ne bangete korosi efugufugu nga itali united opposition iyo rachikorogo nga kose united alternative government something like that. Again, they get to impact number 1. Number 2 issue ya baire ga Kenya ngaki aba Rwanda ya serikali ba Kongo seramu na ndata moment yo mo bakorore kananga ko mochiale go soka inchira nkori kwere yo ko muirani yamu abantu abanzi babwatega nga yo kogenda mutu yo go chikorigi ekero kyo borai bwense ekikerenga nayo mo rarigi akonyu no yondo yoro mokonyo again they get is it for the growth of individuals in opposition was the growth of opposition as general?
You know, statement mereko abekirengia sana and I've loved what you have said that etore area united opposition are they ready to take a government? We cannot have a government
opposition serikali united opposition
serikali united opposition but I think the united opposition narrative out of like abana bantu bachitamu bari in opposition, you know, inyuranga initially yarenga azimio lakini mugaka nyabusiraraira ya bantu rende timati go senkanani I don't know go senkanani ya set bagaso agalirende agaso serikali as broad based then bakarosia rende MOU na UDA. The united opposition name came out of that. They were in opposition but they were united. That is what happened. But I think as time goes by karobona the real deal yoko enda kuboli chikure gocha, that is when they will give us their coalition name ibara chikonya ko ba ko tewa usekoleta bono kwa manya go tebalende igoro ya the candidate yabo, you know, for now we don't know kero muntu natakete but we don't know ngaki abantu abago ba gocha kwenda ba separate because ingakinere yegete they were like scattered
akaranga ba takororusu group getega
kero ba chageta as united opposition we could see the pictures of these united opposition leaders baba George Natembea, baba Eugene Wamalwa, Fred Matiang'i no arenge, former DP Gachagua no arenge, Kalonzo Musyoka and other figures, Jeremiah Kioni. Kama niko ikira sigete I don't know whether you realize Jeremiah Kioni aka karabora karabora Fred Matiang'inere akanya koba na koba sideline na we akanya koba gotarere weka Eugene Wamalo na rengo lakini lero igana ndusa kuligero Eugene na bali tenchira gete mwacha ziaro baba JB I think just better Joka Muturi the former speaker, the former attorney general, the former MP of Siakago yari kuruko Siakago but North Mbeere bone gekuru bakara bora lakini hand bado bairende back to business. But I think Ototo where we are heading now they are coming together and if they indeed want to give a very serious competition with just Omuraiwense na ndo ma Omuraiwense as you are seeing naero chakire na ndo no tenga siasa tarima ngana magani hasara he knows ngakia kwa
so Kisii goro
ako so rali goro bas watu watatambua. So we are heading to politics. So these guys I think they have realized that if they cannot come together actually korusio Omuraiwense it means that they have to all of them by chamo egere yani batu are that strength yokurusia Omuraiwense
akaruto ko wende back to siasa mnacha bere chiko cha chikoba inherited got chikoba succeeded from one individual to another and mone Omuraiwense me ya Kenya igantaka mugo stand out ngelinga Omuraiwense yabere president me ya Kenya tuchake na turatigo musike muige karera ni gaso toro gwetira so gwasira kwa musike omusike Kibaki onyo hinge kana ringese team ya opposition there is a time I get agaforge is on way aga identify erabwe komanya namna Mwai Emilio Mwai Kibaki versus Kenneth Njino Matiba versus Daniel Taratisha Ramoid versus Raila Amolo Odinga. Then omoske Uhuru Kenyatta no nyoche tenga na gale tatu na Moi na getu na ga identify bweka ye tukola sikia magya tiene na era kebeka bweka keone bweko monyene individually nyuma tara manyano nga ngobara chiko kole gasnere. You never knew ngamba chiko ndamo na Ruto for example. Then Ruto monyene na jitu na era karosi kia makia URP na era keone ko bwa ya chakita na UDM gachika kuba ko bwa individually baka mna jitu kiraba kole gore. Is it premature? Gosenje tikange beke bono from my perspective. Niya kora garanga ngere premature as a muske to for example muske Dr. Fred Matiang'i waswa as a team amai kuyaga chakale team. Because history yako tabinga amangeni ko ba ingwega agacha kubusiko baso team bakwaga acha lakini politically Dr. Fred Matiang'i nigago so team mume amaikwaga acha ke siasa ese sikolisa abantu ba ese team ringi mayons generally the least experienced politician no musga Dr. Fred Matiang'i igesa mangana politics chances chia chire minimum was not about the disadvantage what if it was to stand out atabanga ki inchemundo Matiang'i tigandale tenenda njibweka of course a potential na was a possibility na yo colleagues na united opposition lakini as at now was it going to be possible agwa kierwe ko manyana muna Dr. Fred Matiang'i kabegeta abana nse megera ro si brand ya yo ka uchimutuare what is so hard asere ko kwa mwini ndo mnekyo because at now enge muna ne package gete tali yarabweka enge nga there are some packages suna ni united opposition muna musika kasha kwa katabire ngo ise ko limie stima ko so limie stima gete ko alimiri nyarebe ko alimiri gendo gete united opposition means ekoreka ngo ise ko limie ko sino monto ya muskinga ko sikaronza ibiste ko sino motinya yamo basi ko sekasha go ibise gacha na one of the media houses gatanga opposition ninje muna mwaro na kira ke go igana ya kirire so what does that communicate
you know a statement yao yengia sana and you have taken me back to succession politics especially the regions we have seen I think the smartest guy who some people need to copy from is the president Dr. William Ruto.
Yeah,
he knows how he inherits. Also, the way I inherited the Rift Valley, the Koruas Daniel Moi, it was a self-made. Igachita kaoni agatek, and the opportunity came in the so okoyagacha during the 2010 constitution. For me, I even feel that William Ruto in his heart, he could have supported the constitution. But he's saying in chat, at that moment, take the situation. You do what we call risk. You take a risk. A risk taking at the no, simply because I take manyanga ki politically where am I fit? Na inka inikirete. That is how he inherited by the Rift Valley. I can imagine a kingpin because it was ahead
after
Daniel Moi. I can inherit it because it came a moment when it was supposed to be inherited. Gerati raigo basoire a constitution ya chire ba boli obra iwense na Uhuru Kenyatta actually ba chiramu. And then una so bisiga as a deputy president, what he knew that these people of the mountain, I need them and I don't need them. And
Egeikaro kwera ni maigasi nini Ruto tachagete kolegasi na Uhuru amayo chikora URP
heaven
nigara URP akega chamuno muntu tagete kubolo president ko
Usakorangere URP iwe yachita out of the 2010 cause let me tell you to be honest,
no campaigns,
the no campaigns, just like I've said, I don't know Mchenyo Romura iwe saying sako mwabari motaving this is a secret between me and you. I know the president might have supported the 2010 constitution kiro
lakini he is saying political gains, political advantage
and to be politically relevant tachi to join the other team
to join the other gana baraba no want to go just me ya mwine.
Let me tell you something. In Kenyan politics, I don't know whether people see that ntubwate inchiragete that thing bari ba tangane team ma turu cha ko batenga ba tenga karakira mpaka libagari ya and positions power is taken. Power is never given. Ariko cha so as team area no, it couldn't be standing out. Abantu bari go cha korokana was honorable Raila Odinga na Kibaki because they were front runners. Na
because karoko le chika mini chia no na yes akaro ba ingo kuwa namba bwate protocol ya ko bwate kunga abantu bari ba ingo kuwa nabo mwali ase protocol ni gale go cha ko number 7 number 8 which my god
yar ko mo political relevance
ase no nero ingo crown nero ngipini ya no ngabone ka tojo ko meeting ya no musangerka no umuntu kukwa no mwali ko William Ruto ne kadi mbaliri
ona karanga na kinda serious space whereby na inchengo chikokoraki
ndege ko ya muina. So
the president, I know, agatawanga tiampinge, just a mob tiampinge too, simply because he ataketa koreki. Nera was relevant. That is how he inherited the politics of Rift Valley because now I think he needs them. Can I also obviously as a deputy president, what you knew, I have the Rift Valley, I'm the kingpin. Ochiri negotiation table nga nchengo ku Rift Valley, these are my numbers. Ochiri obere deputy president. Akamanyanga, I need the mountain. Do you know how that is how he inherited President William Ruto? Akairana wakaenda kieleweke kero Raila acha handshake oyo ndaka akamanyanga we can't chomoke.
Tajid gasa mali yangu 10 yake 10.
Akamanyanga we can't ande chomoke kurugaiga egera nchikoba relevant kuchia say mountain. Akaero sikurugari. And look at the way the strategy is using also to inherit the Luo Nyanza. I'm telling you the same. Bona igana ande target yabwate Luo Nyanza. Bona igana ande tokonya kutumeka baragete iga egana nande I inherited the Luo Nyanza and even the coastal and other regions. Maybe asera mokongera Kalonzo ali western, maybe we see another places wa Munyora alibado na bwate mchanda kindende. That is politics. So Ototo coming now to what you asked. I think it will be history. History. But I want to tell you, history cannot be faithful all the time. Chinga kinchiro na ande history na are tariko maybe etago favor. Where we are heading, and the major person the united opposition is fighting, no more events. You cannot tell me ngabanta baisa ko choyo moyo monga ngabona chake ko build. You look at Matiang'i politically na wara atabenga he lacks experience political rhythm political rhythm inchireri to ntoma thenga siasa cha Kenya propaganda ama tusi inchireri Raila bare kum Raila bas Raila William Ruto Uhuru Kenyatta na bara ya abananchi na ikawikera mbase that standard get ya siasa that it's all about maybe okokwana bobea matusi propaganda nyinge lakini
against your opponent.
Yes. Lakini when you look at Matiang'i is more of an administrator who doesn't have the political rhythm. Otatigarende okoranga na nyora abantu gete bakamatavinga otachietiga is learning. dikireri nto maite ngakurukare umugaka Raila gachire podium lazima barakora haya kitendawili that comical things that could even
naboko predicting this what is going to happen wikabaka
mwari injire nere barenge bare wa attract crowd by dancing vitendawili those riddles those concern but Matiang'i I think is improving even the dancing skills karachete ngakinere and even they could expecting
manyere wake atengo
lakini rero is learning a lot because that is how the politics of this country are that you have kora entertain abantu before you speak Matiang'i during when the united opposition yare got terror one time na Gachagua Matiang'i could be there but no day you hear him say arambe one time lakini yaka squeeze so what I'm trying to say I want to rubbish off kidogo your history that it might not come the way we expect my expectation is inchiro tato chire koligi chingen ochire koligi yekento marago bankoragera tori lakini tato yo chire tanyorete mujengo iranire bosa abana bakoranga this is not a dad because tarata thing whatever they expected so the same way Kenyans are expecting that Matiang'i could have made himself whatever yari wachane kiama kiaye kurugusiga iga nerabe kingpin whatever inchireyu bono techieti according to the expectations chaba Kenya bang including no naba kusia banye that is why some of the people could have a way of rubbishing ofunga maybe tabuga tinguru because iga cheta sa Jubilee yarenge already made but when you try to reason at some point for me ngote mana otabanga Jubilee mbia aseki Karo national yokor tema korengereri during the Nyachaya moment now your history now is very faithful Matiang'i ganyorete chikura kurgusi I mean Nyachaya not Matiang'i Nyachaya ganyorete chikura chaba jumbe kurgusi only only 2 people across Kenya bachite Yuringo moskeke kale kones na was it Kiliku someone Kiliku Kennedy Kiliku someone from the other side na boka bachite no maybe we could have had parties like UPA we have PDP we could have other formations parties from Umukusi but nationally ngakikia go chakorokana so for me I think that the choice of kogenda Jubilee kotaba faithful na history was good because at least Jubilee so nyere nere taita taveta nere kerasi
the only advantage
was that
the only advantage Mbwata was the only positive ngorese almost Matiang'i so as Jubilee I have always longed for yana bitu sokukana kuwa nangaki totwale ebyama bire institutionalized ekyama gerigeta tegemetyo muntu burabono ese gidige kurwani ODM ogobo ODM yamajirenga ODM Israel Amolo Odinga Raila Amolo Odinga ODM lakini bono okogenda kwa Matiang'i Jubilee ndachinde kwa institutionalized ekyama gya Jubilee ngaki kumbe ekyama nabaga kogendera omanye nata yori gachagete because bono iga twaisire goikase ngonya go face story of emotion yalinga ekyama gya Jubilee ekya Uhuru Kenyatta I think Uhuru Kenyatta manyana is facing himself out in one way or the other agari gotigera Matiang'i take over because we have not seen that before chinse chindo sikoli irenze muna bana gosinense America Republicans na Democrats doesn't matter go thing ba moro go Trump the next person takes over the party ni party katika
let me tell you
South Africa for example gamna South Africa ANC it's not about a president Ramaphosa kusema munogosuka muntu mwangosuka so ine advantage nje kota gose a positive mbwate ese umuske Matiang'i so asikia mwaji but kwale ko mboli ncho manyene nyaki naleko nyanga ngwa device nalingi Matiang'i of course nabongo mwa device indirectly aigutagwa so what if Matiang'i atinata bangake it does whether we are going to stand together as opposition neither opposition or not I am the best candidate as abonoiga koligi kroke go president and ntoji tokuwa na yugo chimotu go steering otoko chokara na regas as abonoiga etagat yana inche ntata go president but the moment you go soka isko ga gote andonga niko toko chukua antorenga ni ngore president that means all of you nobody is ready to be president
okay
inje that is to me because abanda bonsi mbara igwana yani onetayo nobody oyo urete kurumia henga ikintike bo nje ntata go president in fact nanda bana abuti yange Gachagua advantage yake because ngwe kali go tanga ninje ndanya ro muntu barodi no mekutane menge ya daktari Fred Matiang'i ngota bale mbamwete na maite nero rako iko no nero chire whatever that I think something I wanted to comment on what again tongere wa kwanire and I've liked it I kwanginyo iri
I normally follow politics not only in Kenya. I like following in other countries. And when I look at the US political structures, especially ekiama. Yani ekiama kibwate stand chiae, chirule chiae, kile kintu kimanyikaine. I have no wachabune party leader. Yani you are just there to represent ekiama, but you have nothing. Yani ebyama biribire ngakinda tebe. Bibwate chi structure kite, chibwate chi believe. Bigo chabune ebyama. Lakini when you come to Africa, people do believe in. I think is it all African countries, excluding maybe South Africa and wherever. But bona Kenya, yani we believe in a chama. Nganyarebo kwande we chama. But when I could have wished we have a country, Ototo. Yani we don't look at a political party. We cannot DM, can you believe, can you die, we look at the person at an individual level. Haron ni Ototo. Haron ni Ototo is capable of doing A, B, C, D. Oyon samienda genta kora 1, 2, 3, 4. No tinga samienda igare ese kiragita getime ona turigirite kiragita mono wetani a driver yekurkusamiyen. You know, that's how we are looking the politics of this country, the politics of this country. Yani bona benga ki egariye bando mbarigireti egariye ngaki goika bando mbarigireti ngaki driver ne kigari bando baro kigari ne chiki. We need to go to a situation whereby we look at a driver. Is he safe to take us where we want?
About ngaki
Oyomati agitari ngajubili
abandaba onyo murangu koro munyerero go sawu cyese ekeroge kega gientreba ibugendi gari ye ko Kenya koro munyerere abandaba ebo buene tebate bari ngaki tigato itanere murangu ga yebano Olio otobwali atujime abali bande banguse buse batebe ngabono tigato karasima ga na passenger atoire lakini kateba ninga mutinine kando murangu oyoga mutinine kando kama kateba murangu uri ko so ato lakini tetro igwana ngani ngo ngo so that's what my point is Kenyans, and I'm happy. Ototo is a by the way, we are somewhere that our Kenyan baganda to kumenia. We don't look at I information cure, I am 2 term, I 1 term. Ero igaba Kenya, ikuba ko nyaki oyonaro ni Ototo. Aro ni Ototo igentama ete no wakamengombe gentama ete no kurema mugondo ega stopgate to mwate kaiga ni okora ABCD. And that's what we want. So I could have advised that my problem is not all about Matiangi, which formation it comes from, which party it comes from. For me, let us say that omontoyo ega siako a driver to ateba a driver ne to ntorigari gari no ngari Tutika mangane yo kurigeri ga. Turigeri drive ngaki. Lakini drive na to kurigeri drive ne ready go fight for the steering. Debano. A driver na bwanta horoki mutwe ngi gari ye ni chengo ye ige. Na bwanta ruani abanda ko ngaki na basani mana muri. Lakini ye gari ye niche. Ne gari ye niche aye ngura tindo rake gari ye niche aye ngura sibo rake gari ye niche. Aye ngura tabano no ra ye niche gari. So finally we should see that fighting them. It will be competitive and they have healthy ekroboka banyene para arwane. There's no way batabanga bane bara basani bagujuka karanza batabanga bagujuka maite omuntu tabata motivation yali yokobe president yaro manyene ime ayo tata ko fight for it erabi ko manyene nabago yani erabi ko already otwalira aka negativity gete kurwesa abantu ngaki kwanza docha arere dikotigira ababandi is you not be like that when the tabanga nyeke ko yoje ke bidu tobaga no president utubuturane gati ensera baga mara nane kwa umate spirit ne raira bwa ne raira bwa toka nana ndo yanga tangaki onyere tereka president yali Kenya ne baga nukabere atwale se yae that should be the spirit ngaki ni chenga be president the same thing I want you know I can take care. I thank God you have indicated me na taka ngotabanga Lailamba said a political press everybody is expecting that. That is why sometimes we feel that maybe the united opposition cannot fit the same now let's go back to the magazine you watara kwane the magazine can you imagine Nyaruto atendeni nyansa tabenga ona tonde kwa kachikura kibara ngibere nabango tigabagambe angenero mambende nero ro taras mame president. Can you imagine that scenario? I imagine ngendo mnekinga ngabano ko seguru Kenya to tenete 2013 jiwe ndanga ki Raila Rambwe na bangu anjirana agambe. No, the point is ninche Raila tarikombwa. Okay. Na Raila tabanga Ruto tarikombwa. Raila tabanga Ruto tarikombwa. We should see Matiangi doing that tabanga ese team ye tole. A friend if I anjiro abanda abansi nyengo tineranze
Bas, I know abaheshimiwa mbaroche, abantu mbaroche, it's a good advice. So what I was saying, the transition that we saw recently at Jubilee, I think in one way, almost Uhuru Kenyatta is coming out of the phase. Enchireba elevate Jeremiah Kioni kuwe deputy party leader. Actually, it means that Inga Kingo Ikere, whereby Fred Matiang'i will be the party leader, and then maybe Jeremiah Kioni have a deputy party leader, and then co-elevate Oyonde Kemosi, Vincent Kemosi, the former MP West Mugrango, Kobe chair Jubilee, was in one way trying to show Mugusinga, you have a presidential candidate, and then again you have the chairperson Dani. Jubilee wane etakete in all ways. As much as Uhuru Kenyatta from the mountain that Mwato wa deputy party leader, we need to also include others. Gwaroche uzita ole Kenta Nerovete secretary general. Yeah. So we are all trying to see that phase of that.
Muitalel or
Kenta. That phase that Jubilee is a national team. So my point, siasa nene, we can discuss, everybody has a point. Lakini renda and what they feel about the presidential candidature, united opposition. But my point is, let us not be faithful to history. Let us not expect. You cannot copy paste Baba. You cannot copy paste Baba. You cannot copy paste everything. It's a high time that we also change.
At the end of the day, the quote that they say, singer, history repeats itself until it doesn't. That will happen because it happened with the Ruto. It can happen with anybody. So that Kenyans expected that aba Kenya nabago change history nanu maita Karoto kwane urechukura ekure ko barwe ya motokota yanga bana ba Kenya babe ba tabiri igana igana ekure ko barwe yani neba ni machine ekubara barwe ya uriyo ya mababa ro history nabo ba ko koliko bono Karoto kwira na twararwe national asinini county ya Kisii bitangani kigima tugore statement ibere kurwa sikia makia UDA 2022 UDA yabwata omuntu kurunga Sekiri macho ombaki muna umurwanira bwikaro gwa se county ya Kisii wona ge probability nero UDA nabwata twara umurwanira bwikaro gwa omo njumbe bwebuge ya Nyaribali chache musikisari chanda gatina gatanga to wana muna Jubilee muna UDA
to support
ndero kubeka muntu kurwanira gwa ase county ya Kisii nsimbara to support omo chief wibu musikirisi bana sosoro agatana gatabanga intwe wose anye kerenga Sekiri macho litandira mu gutabo
yona toira
yori umugafa noyo nagenderera sara endorsement gore sikia mgebi especially karokoli musikirisi bana sosoro.
Let me comment something Ototo on that. Actually, again, thank you. I like the way people bantu bange oisako ba saransi I don't know excitement yarenge people didn't take that statement seriously but as someone to umaite politics that was a very serious and a grave statement.
That's why tu ajeretire game
kwani again to that ngotabike and I quote the statement yomo chief wipa kwante niringa ki onye kere Ototo I don't know whether kwanya utwara amakomba abere atari fit go chikolema lakini watanga ubumbore abadari kububo yani what the chief whip if I can interpret the statement no utari yaromya lakini onye no rionde Diorio natutiga if today Silvana Sosoro as a better option he feels for him nabako mo support
so it is umaite nabo siasa ya Kenya nabegwa ko siasa ya Kenya it is either you are voting for or against
yes
either wanje toyo gosomuange tenakegero akekura so whatever way Silvana Sosoro might not like Simbarati lakini Simbarati is better off than Sekiri macho bombaki so that is the communication
and I want to remind you ndeke tengo tabiga Haron Ototo omaite theater na back to history Haron history to kunya kwira mba corruptionate during the amatanga yomo the former deputy governor
tali eliyo kabaram bara
that was the first encounter banyoranete bakatwara chi different chabo bon again tungu machikorengere ba atware lakini baachira serikali lakini ne baachira serikali this a time we onde chief wipwarenge Nyamira agatenari agatebanga akaranga ingakiyware ko comment about umugavana nyari bakatabanga muri kimwe umugavana gosonga actually nabakotaba umugavana gosonga that's not my point nabanje ko umugavana gosonga lakini umugavana Kisii atabanga umugavana Kisii muri cyo soire serikali ramagendera nkoletale kansa center electric kiregento akamention namagendera ari maybe have promised I want to call them promise because we haven't seen anything tangible much as again for me akataba rendo electric lakini oyore nyaribo taraenda status okora kuyamagendera igaka muvalidatinga ochira okuramagenda and I can remember very well nona renga matanga bogetutu alia matanga ya mama
governor mo tanga ni county ya Kisii musikeli ongwae
when Silvana Sosoro stood agatebi former governor akamotenga to a direction what did he mean and you know that the former governor didn't support maybe the governor and then akamawatavanga I was quoting the corruption ya Muske Jafet Nyakundi na Kibagenda atanga chiseye chimonocha na chiripake county lakini na ndo manyagocha in broad lenga etoramo na abantu kuigwana lakini notoramo kemagendera so let me ask you again tungo tema go taba to sura tari comfortable na no governor Simbarati kwa sasa serikali nelinga wanungu chigo chabaramo kero kuligereri ese rank Simbarati no deputy party leader we ya ODM kikere negotiation
ko be party leader
or like ko ba can be a party leader or like igonga yako chiko twara more bargaining powers chiko out to do the chief whip. Remember the chief whip begin to one go so rabate the chief whip ne kero ke na kemwata chingo but in the political party ya UDA where does Osoro stand
tayo
like who has now more power when it comes to political parties who must be prioritized no more governor so igago feeling it will not be the leader it will not, if the governor comes and we also say government nguchi go to more bargaining power
but
but
I believe nga en some Moscow Soro for example again ta korengere go second ta korigendo kira moreta nge go chese mu governor ati gelinya situation nere kurukunga win-win situation wagesabunga if we work with arati ruta abwe president arati abwe governor na njembu abo chumbe bwana bwa South Mugirango and nge go sono majority leader bano go sonye promotion ye karonto ko senera ora kwa ko say something was no CS because it's possible mondo chikora chiakwe monta jo no CS it's possible so e ko win-win situation ko bwa ba chikurwana nsaba kandre kurwana etonga either of them was a both of them ba lose rie kero gekeiga and then there is a spirit ye ga kurugoronga go sono muraibu nsaka batenga ki mwensi if you have a great kokora na inche mini mase broad based we kama waki amo korunsa korwe ground and then another thing maybe kira bengelinga omo waziri mkoromotike omoske esekiri machogombaki serikali yeye quote and quote abege tobis serikali yeye quote and quote akorete mirimo iguru bale ya sugumete munagoteba quote and quote
ya tekire
ya bachokire munagoteba at the end of the day ekorokorikelinga ono muntu barenge kuragiramo no murayibwense no muntu babogorera neti nabaske osoro babasaire cyane kuruga muri kyamo kya UDA lakini ikiro barukire then the option nere ko sibyo yobororo ko ndenge na yabone to karata magoso ko support na individuals na to atabata Simbarati rio kaigo 2020 to kodra no tengo ko west chinzanga
Ototo politics of interest I think
no it's nagrata ese interest no chiko jiranga win-win interest might win-win okasanga ki oya win nje win then we are good to go we are never friends
Ototo I remember almost ke Laboso the Marem yes Laboso was one of the guys one of the politicians in Kenya who truly loved Raila Odinga lakini according to the history Laboso ga chitaka tai Raila Odinga nga
na linda to mo governor
then ade ko mo jumbo satik akaenda gathio mo ga Raila Odinga akina bongo Getembe
lakini
you are my mentor you are my everything but simply because ndaye to ko bwekero ko tiangenda URP mugaga kama igorera so in politics that's what we mean interest yani ingakinero tukulikiria abantu bari so politically enemies. Who could have thought that one President William Ruto could sit in the same table na Raila Odinga? We never saw it. Na gochi Uhuru Kenyatta, we could even tell that in gakinere baba Raila Odinga bare koteba public alinga tutubwate mochanda naye mochanda tubwate na William Ruto. But the same person, who could think? So politics at some point ngwikirera ase the people you think that you cannot work together, you'll have to work together because maybe no what interest get unabona yoko win unabona they need each other. Osoro and oyo ndabona they need each other, and the governor kwa sababu Osoro governor unabona governor ni Osoro because na bagote abantu basa mugirango kakimokoreki mongera because he has lost some of the buddies bakorti campaign na including the senator Onyonka. So at this critical moment everybody looks at kiako win anyorenga na bere na governor Simbarati ba win igero. You never be surprised about imbari kurusia who are in government, but there's a time jabbing the ship gocha. You will be surprised rumonto ta kagiretu or on the other side. And that's how politics are. Unless all factors remain constant, na ritrata na siasa na bagoja predict. Otherwise muna factors sigande kuchange na kufracture kuranza mambo cha yende na siasa toganda kuligereria asense ya Kenya ni Egeikaro mwanjo muligereri. I don't know what to say. Dingo si ekerere ko sige statement nere itakene kere kuarengera twale ko kwanera tutara kwanera. Maybe Egeikaro kere do triggerie county ya Nyamira because Nyamira mba triggerere they could have expected something from their county. Lakini rende as it is siasa mbona gendrete and aba gusi let it be a closing statement. Aba gusi 20 ntunabara litorero but ntunaba gusitoro yokero none gesa kugeituke igegwaturu we come in neba torabararia we come in as a nasomo gusi. What I can tell you nkeringa I know bwateri bagabuno mugusi korigereringa ki ngori igwete karatiga na mangane party tiga otabanga number 1 karaga ngori utaketaga konyi for the longest time. We see actually you cannot compare to other parts of the country. Nchiro chiri chimbepi lakini no into tagete tobe felt like komo gusingantro. We are focused. We are people of great minds. We can do things perfectly. Digereringa kinga yora agenda. Lakini ngento ntaye discourage aba especially the Gen Z na bali bago bakwe kubesa binkego bachi go disrupt imikutano y'abantu gusibachi koleta furu okumangana yakego chibura buru chigwita abantu. That will not help you. Again tekene nenkaringa digereringa ki who do you want to vote for coming the election time. Na indo oerende tiakobe ko muntu businga bono otagetokuru muntu wito muntu simply because nyare bagotebyo kore boigo. Furugu tutige intunabantu tumanyekaine bunabantu aba ororo abantu twanche tomorembe. That is why you will find out that in Gusiga in Kisii town do you even know that inga chikabera chinde go chibwate biashara and nobody will even bought us because we are peaceful. Omorembo yoga ndrekobo titurwani abantu singenje ya kisiasa igore 2 term igore 1 term igore nini ebyonse ngo chabire yakora ande byara nande twagendra kobo omwama to no muntu man era no mwama to in fact ganda gote Ototo gendo ngora tabagari ready lero iga enyumba yae bwatu muri actually umuntu yo goteba ngaye no muntu rubusa tutaitino ngoko chia ijike in fact ne aro wocha ne bucket yo ya match arago konya the so politician you call your buddy igakare na Nairobi maybe nama bati arako yatere acha konya kwa gachima. Let us value obwamate buli bwanka. It is more important than giving loyalty to chiase leaders mono hando chikurwani abantu tiga tutwaro bwamatobi tiga tutwaro morembe. The only thing I want to preach this evening na gochonya twegwetikende ngbo morembe na njikuru sasa myanenda kore katabanga ki nche aro konya kurutwa jagete Egeikaro ngorenge na bere ngoirorera ngaki nche sometimes I don't care gosino mugusio gosino mansa gosino musigis as long as kwaro kiringa no isai no borai and you have proved so you have proven tumediga soko kikariki yako bwekende proved whatever igente kana nayo mwenyene eoninga no isaine ko morai nayo mwanchu muligereri na aligereringa na isaine ko morai doesn't matter gosino musaja gosino mukungo gosino musaga gosino mugaka gosino muikoyo gosino mugusi gosino mumanyi gosino mundoki igente gatangani era mwenyene munasane individual na isaine ekikendi gezo tagete ko mwanchu ningo ngorkwaro ni Ototo nyangiri niko twalinga na Sam yenda sumuru Egeikaro wikalit kulia chuma piri tomera na chinsainye ase amangana mayeke unga chinsainye chideka 10 chire motwe.